Hi Brian, could you give me a brief history about Aston Workshop and why you got started, or why the workshops got started?
Well, it's a family business. We're set in the northeast of England, about 15 minutes from Newcastle, 15 minutes from Durham. The founder of the business, Robert Fountain, Bob set the business up about 30 years ago. So as a young man, he decided he would like to have an Aston Martin DB5, but couldn't quite find the right car. Decided he would make a right car, do it himself in a little shed at the bottom of the garden. And from there, Bob went on to start to build other cars for friends and family and, people around who saw what a good job he's done. So it went from early 80s through to today, which is the buildings you see there now, where we have about 40 staff. We have the family house next door and the family pub just beyond sort of the trees here.
So what was he trained in? Was he...
Bob's, the family business, the early family business, they were into photography, not the car business at all. In fact, managing director at the moment, Clive, he's a professional photographer. Bob's a professional photographer, and he's trained as an engineer. We obviously have lots of other members of staff around who are trained engineers in the business of building Aston Martins. We're an official service centre for your modern Aston Martins. So if you bought a brand new car, you can come along and have your warranty work done. But as well as that, the prime business, and it's mainly an international business. So I would say about 85 to 90% of what we do is outside of the UK. So whilst we're here today in Birmingham, we do represent Aston Martin throughout the world. And, we do what we do, and hopefully we do it very well.
Can you just basically talk a little bit about the cars on the stand?
Cars on the stand today, we have the far cars is a DB6 Mark II, owned by one of the gentlemen here. That's just a representation of a car that we rebuilt 15 years ago. And the car has done 30,000 miles since and been used, not exactly a daily user car. And we just thought it'd be very nice to bring it here and say, look, that's what we haven't prepared the car for the show. It's just that's how the car stood up to the test of time. So that's a representative of where we've been in the past and how it stands the test of time once you've done it correctly. The car in front of that's a DB5 convertible. So that's a chassis with a new body. That car is going to go through what is probably a 2,500 hour rebuild to become effectively like a new DB5 convertible. So that's probably still 18 months to 2 years away from being finished. The car behind you there, that's an early DB V8. Again, that's a sort of it's not a barn find car, but it's a car that you could take out today and start to use the car, but it does need some works to make it a nicer car. So you're looking at a car for sub £50,000 there.
Really?
Yeah, sub £50,000, and we would give it some works to make it a usable daily car now. But it depends on the man's budget, how he sees the future of the car. It's not, we won't necessarily do anything with the car until it's a sold car. The far car, that's quite an unusual project that we're doing. That's a DB4 with DB4 Zagato styled body on it. Again, that car it'll be a client car to be built out to his specification. So again, that car's a long way from being a finished car. And behind me, we've dropped in a Series 1 Land Rover, which is one of Bob's passions. He has a real love for them. We've got about 9 in and around the site, right. And Bob decided he'd have one done for himself. So that's we wouldn't consider that as being a normal project. We do have another one in build, but
so from very little acorns, it's grown into a heck of a business.
Yeah, well, it's a good business, and it's great. Northeast of England, people can fly in. We're 15 minutes from Newcastle Airport, and we look after you. You can come and have a tour around and see what we do. But we do all the facilities, engineering, building engines. We do the bodies, the paint. The whole process can happen on site.
Well, thanks very much, Brian, for the interview. Thanks for the information.
Thanks, Graham. Thank you.
Brilliant.